Hello and welcome to www.luxurytolast.com. Today we're talking collecting watches and we're talking downsizing. That's right, downsizing. Now that may be a term that you Americans may never have heard of, but look, now that it's the season where your credit rating, the American credit rating has been downgraded from AAA to AA plus, and it looks like another degrading is going to happen in the not too distant future, and the stock markets are in turmoil and the world's just going through a bad spin. It might be a time that we discuss a concept called downgrading. That's where we have a collection and we sell some pieces off, or we lower the standard of some of the pieces to pay back personal debt. Now this is an interesting concept. Now I must add there that I'm an Australian and I've been watching the situation with the current American debt crisis, and I had to do a Google to work out how many fucking zeros are in a trillion. There's 12 zeros in a trillion. And I love the way the Republicans are blaming the Democrats. There was one Republican on the news who said, "Oh, Obama's had 3 years to fix it." Well, fuck me dead. I thought it was fucking the Republicans that spent like drunken sailors. They wasted money on the stupid Iraq war, and all of a sudden they go to this poor bastard and say to him, "Well, you should have had tax. You should have fucking cut services, slashed everything, and it's all your fault." My God, those fucking Republicans. I mean, for God's sake, you bastards went out there and spent like drunken fucking sailors in a whorehouse. I mean, guys, just fucking wake up there. As far as your collections go, let's discuss some sensible downsizing. And what you can do is, if you've got a day-date President Rolex day-date, that's the solid gold day-date piece, you could downgrade to a two-tone Submariner or a two-tone Datejust with diamond dial. That sounds like a great sensible way to go. If you've got 20 pieces, why not sell half of them off? Do you really need all these fucking watches? You can only wear one or two watches at a time. The other thing you might consider, if you've got some holy grail pieces like a Patek or a AP or a VC, maybe look at selling them off, getting something cheaper. I mean, let's face it, a Patek itself doesn't look much different to a layperson than, say, a Longines or a Timex steel. I mean, does it really matter if it's a Patek on your wrist instead of a Timex? And will people really think more lowly of you if you don't wear an 18-karat gold Patek or a day-date? Does it really matter? And these are the questions you need to ask. And with gold prices, with currencies going through the floor, good gold watches are worth good money. So that could be a good time to get out and reduce some debt. So there we go. There's a couple ideas there. Downsizing. The other thing you might do is, if you've got a Rolex Submariner, how about downsize and say, get an Omega Seamaster? That sounds like you could get yourself a couple $1,000s in the changeover. So sell your Rolex Submariner and get a good Sea Dweller. Sorry, get a good Seamaster, I should say. Fuck me dead, if you go to a Sea Dweller, you'd be putting in some money. If you've got two-tone, you might consider selling that off and getting a steel version. The funny thing is, for some two-tone people, you'll find out that the steel versions are actually worth more than the two-tone version. So you want to be a bit careful how you downsize on that. So that's some ideas. The other thing you can do for downsizing is, if you've got a watch with a bracelet, put a strap on it and sell the bracelet off. That's a great way to raise some money. And will you really miss it? That's the question to ask. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed some ideas there. And don't forget, you Americans, you may have invented MasterCard, Visa, and American Express, but you still got to pay the fuckers back. I mean, it ain't no free lunch. Thanks very much, and don't forget to come to my website, www.luxurytolast.com. Thank you.